The past century has seen phenomenal growth and advancement in technology. Although schools have been slow to adopt these tools, educational technology has given students new opportunities related to the attainment of knowledge and learning. There have been several major technological innovations that have affected English education in particular. The introduction of the typewriter gave students the ability to type legible papers instead of relying solely on handwriting. It also added typing to the curriculum, a skill required for writing today. The typewriter was overshadowed by the multi-purpose power of the computer. Not only could students type papers, but programs allowed them to instantly check spelling, edit grammar, and look up vocabulary definitions. Papers no longer had to be tediously arranged on a typewriter or fixed with whiteout. The student typist could become an efficient amateur editor. The utility of the computer was then augmented by the Internet. Documents could be quickly sent back and forth for editing or approval through email. Research could be done from home through library databases. Forums, chat rooms, websites, and other online sources serve to connect students, teachers, and specialists, allowing them to simultaneously exchange information. Current computer and internet technology have shrunk in size and price to the point that most people can afford a portable handheld computer in one form or another. At the same time, the utility of these devices has increased. Students can download thousands of digital books onto their handhelds, participate in classroom activities through connected devices and programs, and have access to new communication methods like touchscreen typing, dictation, and video conferencing. One of the newer advances for this kind of connected teaching is the smart tablet. Teachers can post information or class activities on a digital whiteboard at the front of the class. Students interact with the board through laptops, desk computers, tablets, or the board's touchscreen devices. The following video may give you a better idea.
My name is Diego Medina. I'm a 10th grade English teacher here at Bowie High School. What drew me to use the smartboard was how interactive it is, that I can become part of the lessons, that I can actually make my students teachers. Well, I use the smartboard almost every day. I use it for a number of different activities. We pour with it, we highlight it, we do revision and editing with it. One of the things that the kids absolutely love to do with it is revising and editing, because we get to take things down with their hands, put things back up. They can really see how the sentences moves and changes with every decision that we make. Well, my kids initially are scared of it because, you know, technology and everything. But when they see me using it, they see how I use it and see how natural, how easy it is to use a smartboard. And next thing you know, they're the ones that are asking to operate it. They want to come up, they want to move things. So given it about a span of about 2 weeks, they begin to love it. Wow, that's a great question. Probably the biggest thing I'd have to tell any teacher who's learning the smartboard is, don't be afraid of it. It's just a big touchpad that allows you to bring the lesson to your kids and make your kids part of your lesson. So it's not just one way. So take it home, play with it, have fun with it. The more fun you have with it, the more fun the kids will have with it. When they use a smartboard, they become a teacher as well. And they become teachers to other kids. Make it a community. That's really what the smartboard is. The smartboard is a community. It helps you draw everybody together. So that's what I'd probably be the advice I'd give you.
Smartphones and tablets have not always been well received by the educational community. Texting or instant messaging between two digital devices has had an enormous influence on communication. This is especially true for the younger generation that has grown up within the digital age. A major part of this change includes a shift in written English through the development of abbreviated text. Many English educators are wary of this shorthand. While it represents a change in English educators still want to ensure that students are able to spell and use traditional grammar. Some schools have taken their own approach to revitalizing proper English use and learning online. This next video shows how teachers are bringing the classroom to social media in order to better engage and educate their students.
At Minneapolis Roosevelt High School, chalkboards are out, and Twitter and instant messaging are in.
You got wikis, iMovie, PowerPoint, iPhoto.
Most of the times we're dealing with computers, searching on websites.
Thanks in part to the University of Minnesota's Department of Curriculum and Instruction, these students at Roosevelt are weaving the social websites they use on a daily basis with traditional courses like English.
My take on education is that if you don't engage the kids, you might as well be talking to the wall.
Roosevelt teacher Delania Haug says using social sites like Twitter has significantly increased student engagement. Haug says students use social sites like Facebook and Twitter to communicate outside of class. So it only makes sense to use those tools to get the kids communicating during class.
The point is to get them engaged and make it pertinent to them, but I'm still sneaking in there all the things that I know are good English language arts teaching and learning skills.
It's all part of the university's DIGME program. That's short for digital media. The DIGME program brings the U's expertise in technology, literacy, and learning into Minneapolis high school classrooms to raise the engagement and academic achievement of the students.
We know from previous research that engagement is important for achievement.
U of M educational researcher Cynthia Lewis, who leads the U's partnership with Roosevelt High School, says using social media serves two purposes. Number one, catching the attention of the students and increasing their participation. Number two, preparing them for communicating in tomorrow's new media landscape.
We know that digital media engages young people, and because we know that 21st century literacies are all about digital media.
And the students love the program.
I love this class a lot. It's the best class so far that I have.
For the University of Minnesota, I'm Justin Ware.
In addition to the utility of classroom technology, consideration should be given to the goal of integrated teaching, especially as it pertains to English education. Educators want to keep their students engaged and up to date with current technology. However, there are basic skill sets with English that cannot be solved by technology alone. There are computer games that can help children read, but constant exposure to reading in the classroom is still essential to the continual development of reading over time. Spell check and grammar check do not actually teach people how to spell or form proper sentences. There are plenty of online resources to help with research and paper writing, but earlier guidance in the classroom can help students learn and integrate these complex ideas before leaving high school. Colleges and professions of all kinds want applicants to have well-developed English skills. Students have a better chance to succeed beyond high school if their English education has included instruction for composing professional papers, cover letters, and resumes. Employers also want their prospective employees to be comfortable with basic computer technologies, typing, email, internet browsing, and programs used to write documents and create projects. This next video discusses how education in the U.S. has been stifled by overemphasis on testing without consideration of students' needs beyond the classroom.
Problem with Race to the Top is that first, it's no child behind on steroids. The teachers didn't create it. It was part of the government. They told them this is how you're supposed to teach. These are the standards you're supposed to follow. These are the standardized tests your children and your students are going to be taking at the end of the year. And you have to follow it or we're going to fire you. It was basically creating a teacher-proof curriculum that teachers didn't have any option to do something else. I could just name one teacher. On the first day of class, he asked, what do you think the goal of the class was? One kid who's been indoctrinated for so long said, it's to pass the Regents exam. He said, yes, that's exactly what our plan is. We're really drumming creativity out of students. 71% of time on music, arts, social studies, and science were cut. They want to test preschoolers for Pete's sake. They want to give them multiple choice tests and tell them you have to do this or you won't do well and you won't get into kindergarten. It's inappropriate and dangerous on so many levels and it must be stopped. We cannot continue in this 19th century and this 20th century kind of ideology. It doesn't work anymore. We're limiting teachers' ability to change the education system because they want to change. and they have the ability to do so. Teachers were there to just supply all the information to you and lecture. But now it's somebody who's going to be helping you and guiding you along in the process. The teacher needs to shift to the architect of opportunity. You need to let students have the ability to do it for themselves, work in groups, and really disrupt their own education in their own ways. That's when the real learning happens. Deborah Meyer, she's an educator, and she founded a school in New York, and she worked with very low-income students. She implemented project-based learning as well as portfolio-based assessment. So when the kids were applying to college, they didn't have tests or quiz grades. They had portfolios, and that's what they submitted. Their work, their blog posts, their videos, their multimedia, various designs. So what we need to do in education is that we need to give students a voice. If you look at various companies these days, they're not really hiring based on a student's test score. They're looking at what are the things and the projects they've completed in the past. If I were an employer, I would not hire a person who has high test grades but has a poor portfolio. We must shift our view from something that is very industrialized to something that's creative and organic. We should be treating teachers as nation builders. My name is Nikhil Goyal. I'm the author of the book One Size Does Not Fit All, A Student's Assessment of School, which is published by the Alternative Education Resource Organization.
This world is driven by social interaction, the exchange of critical thoughts and novel ideas. Thus, effective communication is tantamount to success beyond the classroom. English education teaches students how to communicate, and technology provides novel opportunities to use these communication skills. The proper integration of technology and English instruction in the classroom allows students to use both tools effectively. An integrated classroom provides students with a structured forum wherein they can share their questions and knowledge, obtain feedback, and interact with peers and teachers. The teacher acts as the guide in this setting, probing students with in-depth questions, giving creative criticism and helpful advice, and pushing students to achieve content standards. Technology is one tool used to enrich the class environment. Online classroom communication, project creation, multimedia presentations, and interactive programs are several ways that technology can be successfully integrated. In conclusion, technology is a tool like any other. Every time a teacher adds technology to the classroom, they must consider its function and purpose. If the addition fails to complement teaching style or student learning, it threatens to alienate students from learning and the technology as a whole. These risks are real, but the potential benefits warrant the pursuit of proper technology integration into the classroom.